Hi, everybody. This is Jason Easley from Politicus USA and the Daily. We're trying out some new software and a new platform today. I really hope you can see me, hear me. If you see this, hear this, you want to put something up in the chat, go ahead. Let me know what you see, what you hear, if everything's all good. We're trying to figure it out right now. We will see how this works. Like I said, this is all brand new. So this is a little bit of a test run right now. And so today we're going to be talking about how Democrats are fighting back against the gerrymandering in Texas. I see some people coming in. I don't know if they are Substack or what. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on over here to Substack real quick before we get going with our presentation, and we will check it out. Are we visible? Are we there? I don't care about the dashboard, Substack. Yes, we know you're all proud of your dashboard update. I don't see us live on Substack. This is a bit of an issue. I don't know where we're going to right now, but it is not going out live via Substack. So here we are. The Democrats are fighting back. We're going to talk a little bit about how and what they're doing to fight back right now. The first thing Democrats are doing, and this is really interesting, I wanted to play you a clip. I wanted to play you a quick clip of Texas Democratic House Majority Leader, Republican Majority Leader, Derek Burrows. Let me see if I can get the audio going here. It is the play.
Members, may I have your attention? The roll has been called and a quorum has not been established. Here is where we are at today. Yesterday, Attorney General Ken Paxton and I took action to domesticate the civil arrest warrants in the state of Illinois, seeking to make them enforceable beyond Texas state lines. I expect...
Okay, that's interesting. Let's stop right there for 1 sec. What he's doing is he's taking these civil arrest warrants that have no jurisdiction outside of Texas, and they're saying they're trying to domesticate them so they're enforceable in Illinois. Again, these are civil warrants. The people, the Texas Democrats can't be turned over unless Illinois decides to turn them over, and there's pretty much zero chance of that happening.
I expect suits in other states will be forthcoming. Chairman Guerin of House Administration has also contacted the Sergeant-at-Arms of Illinois House of Representatives requesting their direct assistance in returning absent members. I have been in constant communication with Department of Public Safety, which has been working to track down absent members in an effort to return them to our chamber. These efforts will continue through the weekend.
Oh, that's
for those that have fled to Illinois or to California, be reminded that the FBI's assistant has reportedly been enlisted, and their powers...
reportedly been enlisted. Mr. Dustin Burrows, the Texas Speaker of the House, doesn't know because nobody told him if the FBI has been enlisted. And by the way, enlisted is a very vague word. What does it mean to be enlisted? Do they have any real powers? What can they do? Well, they don't have the power to arrest because there's no crime. So that's pretty interesting there. Reportedly, nobody told Dustin. Dustin's not apparently important enough to know. He's just going off what John
Cornyn... not confined to any singular state's boundaries. As far as new administrative policies in our chamber go, Comptroller Kelly Hancock and I have enacted a new policy stating that any member absent for the purpose of breaking quorum will no longer have their paycheck or per diem deposited electronically.
Oh my God, they took away the direct deposit.
While the Constitution forbids us from withholding pay, it does not dictate how we issue the pay. Those checks must now be picked up in person on Capitol grounds.
Yes, you lousy Democrats. You have to show up and pick up your paycheck in person.
Today,
and bam, when you do, we're going to qualify
taxpayer dollars and account for forthcoming liabilities under Rule 5, Section 3 of House Rules, which authorizes fines for members absent without leave. 30% of each quorum-breaking member's monthly operating budget will be reserved and made unavailable for expenditure.
Well, they cut their budget by 30%, which doesn't really hurt them because they're not there. Oh, good Lord.
Absent members must also appear in person to approve or enact any of the following: requests for travel reimbursement, personal action requests, including those increasing or decreasing staff salaries, approval for newsletters and House of Reproduction
Dear God, you monsters.
Services. Failure to appear in person will result in the cancellation of your newsletters and the encumbered fund.
They've taken the newsletters. They've got their newsletters. That'll show those Democrats who try to fight for democracy. We've got your newsletters. Oh, yeah.
We have all hands on deck. We are continuing to explore new avenues to compel a quorum, and we'll keep pressing forward until the job is done.
Yep. Job is done, meaning we're going to rig the map in Texas to get Donald Trump more House seats because he's terrified of losing power. Okay, that's about enough of that. So that's what Republicans are doing. Now, if that screams to you, well, that seems like a pretty weak hand. You're right. It is a pretty weak hand. Oh, I just took myself off the screen. Let's try this again. One smaller. See, new software. Trying to learn my game. So that's a pretty weak bit of sauce right there, isn't it? They've apparently deployed the FBI, but nobody knows for what or where or if they can actually do anything. Well, apparently the FBI could go to these states, look around for these guys and go, yep, they're over there, and then stand there and do nothing. So what are the Democrats doing to fight this? Well, let's see. First of all, you got Beto O'Rourke out there donating money, raising money, using his political organization to fund the expenses of the Democrats who have left, which is a fabulous idea that we're going to have more to say about in a minute or two here. Secondly, we have House Democrats like Jamie Raskin, Jasmine Crockett, Greg Cesar, and Robert Garcia have launched an investigation into this use of the FBI. And what they want to know is, why are you misusing federal law enforcement resources for something that's a state level matter and not a crime? The second thing they really want to know, and they're super curious about, is where are these resources being taken away from? Is this making the country weaker by not fighting terrorism or drug trafficking? Really good question. And I wrote a story about Dustin here and what the House Republicans of Texas have come up with, and just the general weakness. This whole thing seems to have backfired. And if you want to really talk about what's at stake here, this isn't really about House seats. This is about democracy. I mean, as Rep. Trey Martinez Fisher of San Antonio said in a story that Sarah Jones wrote today for the Daily, it takes an act of defiance like this to wake the country up and let them know that our democracy is being stolen right now, right in front of our eyes. If we're going to be the spark that lights that fire, then we're doing our jobs. So it really doesn't seem like the Democrats are going to go home anytime soon. I mean, this is what Sarah wrote something really great here about Democrats potentially being torn on how to respond to this. And she suggested that the left shouldn't get stuck in ivory tower syndrome, which means that, you can't take the high road, take the moral high ground, and feel intellectually superior. Because Republicans are playing to win, and they're playing with democracy here, and they're playing to end the democracy. They're not playing around. They're not screwing around. So, the Democrats tried to do the right thing under Joe Biden. They tried to get everybody involved. They tried to make everything happen. But I'm just opening up the chat window here. If anybody wants to chat that's watching, please drop us a message. I'm right here. We'll chat right along with you. Democrats tried to take the high ground. Didn't work. Didn't work at all. Not worth it. Didn't work. What happened when Democrats took the high ground? Donald Trump ended up back in the White House. So the proper and better idea in this situation, very simply, is to fight. You have to fight. And, I would say the Democratic base has been much more engaged in fighting, and they were much more aware of the issue before Donald Trump ever came into office. House Democrats were the first. They were much more because their seats are up every 2 years. They're the ears to the ground. So they were involved. They were fighting back. They were devising a strategy. It's Hakeem Jeffries who said that this Epstein thing was a big deal while Democrats were poo-pooing him and telling him to shut up, basically. And Jeffries turned out to be right because the polling shows, I don't want to get too far off track, but the polling shows from a UMass Amherst who actually did some deep dive asking about the Epstein question, that the Epstein question connects in Americans' minds with Donald Trump, corruption, and criminality. So Epstein criminal, Trump criminal, corruption, criminality. Corruption is where the cover-up comes in. The American people are very aware and clear this is a cover-up. So that is how the dots connect. So whenever you want to talk about, well, it doesn't matter and Democrats shouldn't do this or Democrats shouldn't do that, all of these things matter. And you never know what's going to resonate with the country, which is why it's important for Democrats to fight. It's important for Democrats to fight every single day in this situation. And when it comes to Texas, Democrats have gotten the memo and they're fighting back. And what I really, really would like to see more than anything is I grew up in a union household, and my dad was a blue-collar laborer who was a member of the union. And they went on strike a few times in my childhood. And those strike times were tough. I mean, there wasn't money. No money was coming in. And I remember my dad getting up early in the winter to go stand on the picket line. That's hard. What these Democrats in Texas are doing is like a strike for democracy. They're going out there and they left. They left their homes. They left their families. They left everything. They're not getting paid. They're running up $500 fines a day apiece. And they're doing this not just for the people of Texas who are having their rights trampled on and their voice silenced through a gerrymander. They're doing this for the American people. To stand up and say, this is not right, this is not wrong, this is not democracy, and we need to do whatever we can do. This is a 5-alarm fire, and we need to pull the lever and tell everyone. So, let's treat these Texas Democrats, there's 50 or so of them, like they're strikers. What would happen if the Democratic Party said, being that we see that good old Dustin here doesn't have much in his toolbox to really punish the Democrats that left the state? And by the way, they didn't flee. They're not running away. They're not criminals. They voluntarily left. They took a principled stand and left. So we can see Dustin and the Republicans don't have much in the toolbox to bring them back. Greg Abbott is saying he's going to call special session after special session until the Democrats come back and he can pass his map. But Greg Abbott also has a deadline. Greg Abbott's deadline is the end of the year. If this map is not gerrymandered by the end of the year, then it doesn't go into effect at all for the midterm. My proposal, being from a union household, is very simply this. If Democrats had their act together, which I know is sometimes really stretching it, what they should do is they should go to their donors, set up basically what is a democracy fund, a strike fund, we would call it in terms of for union workers. And go to all your donors, go to every person that voted for the Harris Walz ticket and ask for $1. And don't go to a super PAC. Don't take out administrative costs. $1. Raise $60 or $70 million to cover these expenses for these Texas Democrats, to pay their fines, so that it doesn't matter how much Greg Abbott and the Texas Republicans fine them. It's covered. So that it doesn't matter, so they can bring their families wherever they've gone and keep those Democrats out of Texas for the rest of the year. Wouldn't that send a message? Wouldn't that send a message? Wouldn't that make everybody go, wow, the Democrats are serious about this? And it wasn't just the 50 Texas Democrats. It was every Democrat in the party that stepped up and said, we got you. We got your back. We're not going to let this happen. We're going to fight. We're not just going to talk about democracy as a threat. And then once Donald Trump wins the election, say, well, democracy didn't play well with voters, so we're not going to talk about that anymore. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous that these people were so big in talking about democracy for years, and then when they found out it wasn't a winning campaign issue, they stopped. What does that tell you? Is this a group of people that are serious about protecting democracy, or are they listening to some high paid consultants that are just telling them, well, this polls well with voters? And then when they lost the election, a lot of them stopped talking about democracy. A lot of them stopped. Why did they stop? Oh, we got some comments. Republicans are out of their minds. There, we're going to see if this works. Look at that. Right there on the screen. See, our commenter says, glad Texas Democrats are fighting back. Someone has to defend the country. Thank you. And thank you very much for our comments. We're gonna put these comments on the stream here so everybody can see them. There they are on the sidebar. I don't know how the system is really working for everybody, if everybody can comment and leave comments. I have a feeling that our regular Substackers are not with us right now, or else they would be very active right here. So here we are. This is our situation. What are we going to do? You have a choice. You can sit on your hands. You can watch cable news. And you can just follow the coverage and, maybe tell some people, tell some friends and whatnot about what's happening and bemoan it. Or you can step up. You can demand that the Democratic Party takes care of these Texas Democrats. You can demand they take the fight to the next level. You can do that. Yeah. You can do it all. Oh, there we go. Here we run the first comment. Look at this. This is a good one here. Finish business. I stand with Texas Democrats and the people who are our country. Yes, those people are our country, and they deserve to be stood with, and I think we all do. But I'm a little disappointed that we don't have more of an organized effort to stand with them. I don't know. Are you guys disappointed? Would you guys like the Democratic Party to be doing more? I mean, instead of just meeting with the Texas Democrats, would you props to Hakeem Jeffries? He went down there and met with them, held a press conference. He met with the Texas congressional delegation, and he's been taking on Greg Abbott for months on this and other issues, because this has been coming for a while. It's not like they haven't telegraphed this. If you have a comment, if you have a question, please leave the comment or question. I will answer every comment or question you have. I will do my best. This is a discussion forum. In our usual Substack group, we sit there and we take questions and answers. So if our Substack people aren't there, we're going to do this with a new group of people. This is a very interactive forum. Please interact. I believe this is CS. Notice how media is silent about Republicans sending FBI, about the Republicans sending the FBI head, sending their deranged armed lunatics to, wait, there's more, hunt the Democrats. They said a bomb threat was called into their hotel. Yes, a bomb threat was called in to their hotel in Illinois. That's the kind of thing that's going on. That is exactly what's happening. And the Democrats are fighting back. People have to defend the country. And I just wish the Democratic Party would. They have no qualms about asking people for money every 5 minutes. Please chip in $5. Please chip in $1. Please chip in 47 cents, or God will call me home. I believe that was Oral Roberts. God will call me home. Yeah. So we get these fundraising pleas. Everybody gets them. Everybody. If you've ever signed up for anything, even if I do it for journalistic professional reasons, my email box is just dive bombed with these pleas for money. Okay? They want money. Well, this time, if they want money, they got to show you what they're going to do with it, and they got to give it to the people who need it and are fighting hard. Here's one from Ronald Jean Bailey. Let's read this one. I would like to see Abbott put in prison for the rest of his sorry ass life for being a traitor to America and its Constitution. Yes, Ronald Bailey. I believe that, the odds of that ever happening aren't great, but Greg Abbott has done some really, really crappy things. And if you talk to the people in Texas, Texans, that is, I don't know if you're one or not, they would tell you that he's corrupt to the core. And that the Texas Republican Party has been in power for so long that it is corrupt to the core. So that's where we're at. I'm going to keep hammering this drum. I'm going to give you one more time. I see people still coming in. Folks, the Democrats need to organize, use some of that fundraising muscle, and support these Texans who have taken a stand for the government and for the Constitution. I'm telling you right now, this needs to happen. This is the moment, and this is the time. They can't wait till next year, and then after all this is gerrymandered, go, oh, wow, we should have done something, as Democrats are famous for doing. Don't do that. And by the way, let's talk about this gerrymander for just a minute. A study from the Brookings Institute found gerrymanders don't matter. If the Republicans gerrymander, as Sarah wrote in her story today, all the seats they can get, they're hoping to maybe get 12 seats they could potentially win. Now, the Cook Political Report analyzed Texas, and they said out of those 5 districts, Republicans may pick up 2 of them. So just because you gerrymander a district doesn't mean you're going to win. It doesn't mean that that district is lost, and because they can't. There's something called a dummy-mander, and y'all might be familiar with it. Maybe you're not. But the dummy-mander is very simply what happens when a party dilutes their own vote in a district so much that they hurt themselves by weakening other formerly strong districts that they held. So let's say Texas Republicans, by gerrymandering 5 districts to help themselves pick up 5 seats theoretically, they have weakened themselves in 5 other places by taking out a solidly Republican majority out of those districts. Those districts could flip. And by the way, 12 seats, folks, 12 seats is not enough for the gerrymander to work. 12 seats isn't going to keep the House majority for them. The average, I want to say the average midterm loss, but it could just be something more historical with these flips, is around 23 seats. I need to look that up to be sure. So until Republicans get around 25 gerrymandered seats, this isn't really going to work out well for them. This is going to maybe hold down the damage a little bit. But it's if there's a wave election, and right now the rumblings are among the data analysts that with the economic climate the way it is, with the approval rating of Trump and the Republican Party where it is, and by the way, the stupidest thing in polling is the polling of party popularity. Do you know why? Do you know why it's so idiotic to poll about party popularity? Parties aren't on ballots. When you poll, let's say, a voter about the Democratic Party, and they go, oh, I hate those Democrats. They're so weak and terrible, blah. But then when you ask them about their Democratic senator or congressperson, oh, but they're different. I love them. Parties don't run elections. Individuals do. That's why this whole, and I almost did it to myself there. That's why I caught myself. Party polling is useless. Completely and utterly useless. So do not, when the media starts running headlines about, oh, the Democratic Party's historic unpopularity, it doesn't mean a GD thing. Okay? Just like, oh, the Republican Party is historically unpopular, doesn't mean a thing. Meaningless. Well, you tell me when the Republican Party is on a ballot and somebody has a choice to vote for the Republican or Democratic Party, not the Republican or Democratic candidate. You tell me. Then we'll have a measurement. So, Democrats are fighting back. I would love to see Democrats get stronger around this. Democrats need to fund these Texas Democrats. The party has plenty of money. I know you wouldn't believe it by looking at the fundraising emails that come at you every day and the text and everything else. They got plenty of money. Stop giving it to all these consultants that are wrong in elections regularly and give it to these people fighting for democracy. Right now in the comments, I'm going to put the link to, Ronald has a great point. Right now in the comments, I'm going to put the link to our Substack, The Daily with Sarah Jones. This is a fabulous publication. And if you're not reading it every day, you are seriously missing out on some of the best in-depth writing out there. Oh, look at that. Streaming on Substack. What do you look at that? It is streaming here. Huh, okay. I didn't know. And then it started playing the volume for me. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. So this is Sarah's most recent story. This is The Daily with Sarah Jones. This is some of the most insightful, in-depth writing you are going to find anywhere. I'm putting the message up here. Please subscribe to The Daily. It is $6 a month for everything, for the whole kit and caboodle. It is well worth it. We definitely want you to come to the publication, see everything. There's the link to The Daily. There's the link to Sarah's latest story. Hurry up and grab it out of the comments. Go read it. That's Politicus USA is the Substack where you can find me a good bit of the time. I'm also at The Daily too. I help out over there, and I do some stuff over at Politicus USA as well. I would be really appreciative. It is also $6 a month. We have not found a good way to bundle these together yet, but that is something we've talked about in the past. This is Politicus USA. It is also $6 a month. It is more political news. So if you would like to just get your news headlines, ignore the corporate media, the great combination is if you read Sarah, you get all the smart analysis. It's like having a really, really smart version of the best political analyst you know right there at your fingertips. She gets compared to Rachel Maddow a lot. I think Rachel is very gifted. I think Sarah is very gifted. They do different kind of things. Sarah is more populistic and grassrootsy. She's in the fight. She's in for women's rights. She's there. She's definitely somebody y'all need to be checking out. So, if you can subscribe to PoliticusUSA.com or The Daily, we both write free content each day. They're both out there for you. And there's also some great paid content. There's live chats. There's videos. We do a lot of stuff. You definitely get your $6 worth if you subscribe to Politicus USA or The Daily. I'm so glad this is a new platform. I'm not sure if notices went out to everybody. This, to be honest, was kind of a test to see how things work. I'm kind of getting used to things myself. So I hope you liked it. Thank you very much. There's the link to Politicus USA. We'll put the link back up to The Daily real quick. Please check both of those out, and I'll see you next time. Oh, guess what? I don't know how to end this chat. That's very interesting. There we go. Oh, it's up in the corner. Boy, look at that. I'm going to edit that out. Boy, that was a mistake. That is one of those first-time user mistakes right there. But yeah, so this is it for Politicus USA and The Daily. I'm Jason Easley. We'll see you soon.